Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel where we look good, we smell good, and we talk good. My name is Grabo Khahledi and welcome to my YouTube channel once again. And if you are new here, if you're a new subscriber or it's the first time viewing my videos, I hope you're here to stay. I really hope that you're here to stay. Yeah. Today we're going to do a lot of talking, and I hope whatever is going to, whatever that I'm going to speak about today, I hope it's going to inspire somebody. I hope that it's gonna get somebody very close to God, and probably, maybe, I don't know, get clarity. I don't know in what way, but I hope it helps. So, guys, this year I've felt the need to transform, right? And to be quite honest, I feel like I could have done this, um, but God said no, and I had to accept that. To be honest, I've always prayed about consistency and discipline, and it's it was quite disappointing how God would direct me the way He did. Do you understand? It's quite, well, it was disappointing me. It still is disappointing to me that God decided, you know what, you're going to stay home and work on those things, right? And babe, ish, ish, like it's still difficult, but it's better. So this is how um it all went about. I'm gonna give you a little backstory about the person that I am so that you can understand, okay, how we got here. Oh my in matric I've always been a hardworking girl. Well, in school I've always been a hardworking girl, especially in matric. I gave up everything. I gave up everything, well, except my job, but I gave up everything. Do you get that? I gave up everything, and everything being myself. I let go of myself completely. Oh my God. So, am I gonna cry? I'm not going to cry because there's nothing to cry about. God has already fixed it. Yeah, I let go of me. Do you understand? I no longer care. Well, I cared, but like, there were much more important things such as study. I felt like, to be quite honest, I felt like if I had to give the way I look, the way I present myself, um, attention, I would lose attention on my schoolwork. And I don't know why I didn't realize that everybody was looking good. Everybody was looking good and still making it. Like, I just don't know. And I just realized that right now. But also, they looked good because they didn't have to do that game by themselves. I had to, well, I don't know, but I had to take care of myself. I had to do my own hair because, to be honest, I don't like it when somebody does my hair and they do it katsile empe. So ever since, I don't know, maybe grade 9, grade 8, I've taken it upon myself, you know what, Karabo, you're going to do your own hair because people don't care, and people make it even now, and yeah, even now I'm still doing my hair because I don't trust people, and people habana unembeza man. Habana unembeza, because what do you mean I come to you, show you what I want, and then we're not wait until you like. So yeah, I lost myself, and I concentrated much more on my schoolwork. However, and this is very sad, however, I didn't get the marks that I wanted. So I wanted 4 level 7s. Um, Life sciences, mathematics, physical sciences, and accounting. But I didn't get them. I didn't do that but I didn't get them. So I gave myself another chance. I went to I went to where? I went to I went to upgrade my results the following year, which was 2024. I upgraded my results. It was not in that has to be the worst year of my life. That has to be the worst year of my life, and we will unpack that. I don't know, maybe in another video if you want to know. But that was literally that was the worst year of my life. So the problem was not me living alone. It was not the problem at all. It was because there I was alone. Do you get that? Oh my god. Literally. No, leave them alone. Leave them alone. I literally had the worst time of my life because of another person. And I didn't do good again because then I blame it on him. I blame it. Who's gonna watch this? But it's okay. Ne? Unfiltered conversations with Karabo. Unfiltered conversations with her, babes, period. So, yeah. I didn't do good, and also it was because of, well, I thought maybe I had a coffee. Oh my god, this is so, I don't know. No more. I don't think that anymore. I don't think like that anymore. So I would get so anxious. I would get so scared. My heart would beat, and I could not study. I could not study. But to be honest, and I think that part of my life, it's where God intervened, because during that period, as much as it was so hard, it was hard, guys, it was hard. I was literally crying every day, and if I wasn't crying, I was like, God, thank you. I just want, like, yeah. So um that was the year e leng hore ke fitse for like I felt like God loved me, like loves me, like in the midst of everything, I would be calmed down by the fact that God loves me and He knows me. Correct. He acknowledges me. And don't be mistaken, I've always been a child of God. I've always been a child of God. I've always went to church and everything. But that year I felt God's presence the most, because it was the most difficult time of my life. God intervened. I can proudly say that God intervened. And I wouldn't have um, come to a point of, letting go of the person who's causing me like that trauma if it weren't for God. I wouldn't have let go of, maybe, I wouldn't have let go of other things if it weren't for Him. So I thought because I had the worst year, God was going to be a bit lenient on me. And to be honest, I find fault. Like, I feel like it's ish. I'm too picky. I'm too picky. And when it happened, okay, yeah, when it happened that we were doing walk-ins, I was just like, you know what? CUT is not my portion. Why? Because it does not look aesthetically pleasing. Do you get that? I am not going to be a part of that. I want to be in a school where I feel motivated. And I was going to settle for UFs, but UFs did not settle for me. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, it didn't settle for me, and I had to accept that. Like, when we went there, and then they gave us an email where we should send our upgraded results, maybe. I'm not sure, but something like that. So we did that, and immediately it said no. And then there was this other time Well, I went to CUT a couple of times because I was like, and Kujetse, I feel like that is my fault. Kujetse, I doubted God. I doubted God, but also it was because I was pushed to do things that I didn't want to do because I truly, truly, and most earnestly had hope that God was going to place me in a university that's very far from home with a cause of my choice because I went through that and I tried my best to get the results that I wanted. But hey, it did not happen. So while I was waiting for other universities to respond, to be honest, I thought University of Western Cape was going to accept me for nursing. I, I yeah, I thought, but it didn't. Um, so before it responded, I went because it kept on sending a lot of messages that we are considering your application. We are considering your application. We are considering your application. But before I get there, and then like I went to CUT a couple of times alone this time. Here I had to learn my way around Bloom by myself. Do you get that? So yeah, we got there and then Kagopana Livush, I'm mentioning it on my video. Kagopana Livush, and then we went to the offices. We went to the offices and um well, we went to the offices, tried to get our upgraded I mean, get get them to get our upgraded marks in their system, but that was not possible. And then we went to another office, like faculty offices, and then this ma'am was very generous to get she enrolled us immediately. She saw our results and was like, you know what, she typed and said, you know what, accept these kids now. And she asked us, will you be able to pay the registration as soon as possible? We were like, yeah. But getting out of that office, I was so unsatisfied because first of all, I was not there for that course. I was there for the radiography. I wanted them to look at my results, but we couldn't get like kind of getting. I could say the faculty what the thing was not there, so I couldn't do anything about it. Before we left the institution, we were accepted, and I was so unsatisfied. And I remember what I said to the Libusha. I was like, you know what? I'm like, I'm not gonna accept anything Bupilumbaga. I know. I'm just not gonna settle for less. I am not. I'm not. And I said that because I had hoped that God was gonna do something about it, but he didn't. I went home, told everybody, and because that was not my initial what option, I don't know, initial choice of, I could say, cars. Yeah. Because of that, um I had to convince my father that, you know what, it's okay, it's okay. And I didn't even know what but I have been accepted. Krabo, are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. My mother was like, accept this thing, accept it, I will give you money, go. I was like, you know what, be patient. And I remember beforehand, before everything happened, I I had this voice that, you know, Krabo, fast for 3 days, do a try fasting. And I did I did it for like a day. I did it for a day. I did it for a day, and I got it for letsatsi fela because you initially beam. No, I did it for a day because I had to help my sister Alushiba Budulo, like to look for accommodation and to get registered. Skolong, I had to go help her, and we're going to do a lot of ups and downs. If anybody knows where police station into like everything is just so far away, and transport though, ish babe, like it's yay yo. And so I decided, you know what, God, please forgive me. I am not going to do this fast because of this and this and this. Probably that's where my mistake was, because I haven't read it in the Bible. So I'm just gonna say, like, I'm gonna do reference to people. I'm gonna take reference to people. So apparently, name, when God has given you something, sometimes I could say maybe sometimes sometimes there are things that have to be like steps that have to be taken in order for you to acquire it for yourself, for it to be in your hands. So I guess for me, that was what I was supposed to do. Maybe I was supposed to fast in order for me to like do the 3 days fast or whatsoever, so that where I wanted to be at. But it didn't, because the enemy disturbed me. I'd like to believe. But hey, that's fine. I went home after that, and then what happened? I went home after that. Oh my god, these shoes. Yo. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so I got home. Yay. I tried to search for what's this course about. By the way, it was BSc in environmental health. We tried, and because really I'm not interested really in doing these things, but when I was doing my research, I was like, is it gonna help me do a bridge course to the course that I wanted to do? And it was like, yes. I was like, Georgia, but I was like, I'm waiting for God. God is gonna answer me. And I tell you, that day when I received that message, I am not accepted. I could feel it in my bones, so I'm going to receive bad news. Like I was like, Mama, haki school. I cried even before I could get the message. I cried so much. Yo, guys, I cried. I cried so much. Ish, babe, I cried, and then later that day, I got the message, you're not accepted. We regret to inform you, from the University of Western Cape. I was like, my life is over. You know what? And it was exactly after the closing date for first year's applications. Registrations at CUT. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. And then I went, I got help from my brother's friend and this other lady. I don't know her, and I can music a bit like, yeah, they helped me. And I was so close, babe. I was so close to getting there because I registered. And then because it was like and and I made sure I went there very early in the morning, and when I got there, we went straight to the faculty. And it was written that this when I'm not gonna say it verbatim, but it was written that like this course is fully, I don't know, fully occupied. And then we got in and asked, are you serious? And then I was like, yeah, like and I was like, oh my god. And we tried to go to other faculties, but the only faculty left was education. I was like, no. I'd rather take a gap year. Every faculty was like, there's nothing. And I even opted for doing an kind of game. I guess we upgrade course, but it's a math course. I'm upgrading my math. I don't know, something like that. And then they said, no, your math is fine, so we can't enroll you. And then the only one that was left was it was what? It was education, and I said no. I'm not going to do education. But like, no, I'm not going to do education. Education is not part of the plan. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. Yeah, so I went home, and could just say that day when I went home, I thought I was okay. I thought like, okay, Krab, you tried your best. You did your work is up and down. You did your best. It's okay. Yo, I cried so much, and that is the day when I said, you know what, Lord, you're doing me no good. You're doing me no good. You have failed me. You've broken my heart. And I took 3 days off. Okay, no. Before that, then I had news because Kinikili Mopostola. Kinikili Mopostola. And so and Askis Homewaga. Nikili Mopostola, and apparently I didn't get school because some dick that I didn't even dream about. So I was like, God, like you said yes. Yeah, I was angry for God for 2 months. And I know 2 months is not good delay from a God, but I could have been angry for a year. So